everybody, it's Heather from the Chronicles of Mama Mac. Welcome to Real Talk Thursday. I'm really excited about this because this is the beginning of some really amazing conversations that we're going to have here over the next little bit. Just to give you a brief breakdown in case you do not know who I am. My name is Heather, and I am an international life and wellness empowerment coach. I have been working with individuals all over the world and helping them to support and claim everything in their life that they're looking to call their own, to call back, to heal, to move through, and to begin. I have been working solely in the last few months here in the area, running a lot of wellness and empowerment groups with individuals, women, and young adults. So I'm really excited to be making myself more accessible to the people of the world. So welcome to my home office. Yes, you will probably hear every once in a while because we are just starting this phase. My animals, I have 2 little dogs. They're in the background. And I also have some people roaming around the house, but they have gotten the strict instructions to please be quiet as I'm just trying to bring you the most clear and uninterrupted. And I'm always saying, my son says I need to correct that for sure. Bringing you the most clear, uninterrupted, and the truest self of mine. So that being said, the Chronicles of Mama Mac started probably, I'm going to say, about 6 years ago. And it started as a result of me really, truly coming through a massive illness and wellness time in my life. And I opened the doors and woke up one day and had a brand new world in front of me and really didn't know how to process that. I had just processed so many things from the past, and here I was standing very vulnerable, very raw, and very exposed, and not really certain of my next steps and how I was going to make the new story of my life begin. So the Chronicles of a Mama Mac, I've always had humor in my life. I've always joked around. That was a survival technique for me, probably for many, many years. And I just truly have not really lost that. I like to approach the heavier sides of life with humor, but don't get me wrong, I am listening and I'm not making fun. It's just my way in which I can kind of break up the shittiness that happens sometimes and shift the focus for just a second. So the Chronicles of Mama Mac really started out as this way for me to engage and get my feelings out, to process my emotions and to get things going. Never did I ever think that it would become what it is today. And I'm so very proud of what it has become today. I've done a lot of work over these last 10 years, and I'm really excited about the next 10 plus years that are ahead of me. The doors are opening to many wonderful and beautiful things, and it's opening the doors to you and me having a conversation on Real Talk Thursday every Thursday. So my intention here is to really, truly open up a conversation, shine a light, and to be here, to be of service, to help you navigate in any way, shape, or form whatever you're going through in your life. It could be, it can be anything at all. You know what? I've worked with a lot of people in many different areas dealing with different things. Sometimes it's about empowerment. Sometimes it's about taking the next step boldly and profoundly. Sometimes it's about healing a wound. Sometimes it's about raising a vibration. And sometimes it's just about reminding you of the beauty of who you are each and every day. So Real Talk Thursday today is about healthy boundaries. Now, I bring this up because we're I'm going to say 8 weeks out. We're starting the Christmas season here very shortly. Stress can really play on us. It can make us do things that we never thought that we could do and that we never wanted to do. And most of that time, or most of the times when that happens, it's because of the programming that we've picked up along the way, the patterns of our childhood and our youth and of the generations before us that have become a normal communication in our body, in our genetics, in our soul, and our mind. So these next few weeks, I'm really going to kind of dip in and out of that as we go along, just holding the light, because I know it's a stressful time. And I just want to be the reminder that it's okay, that you are not ever the only one that is in your situation, even though you feel at times like you are the only one and that there's nobody else around you or hearing you or listening to you. I want you to know that you are not alone. There is always light, and you just need to reach for it. So from Collingwood, Ontario today, last night I went to bed wearing my flip-flops. I didn't go to bed wearing my flip-flops, but I was out running around with my flip-flops. This morning I woke up and there's probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 inches of fluffy snow, and it's everywhere. And it's a reminder that the seasons are changing and that everything, even Mother Nature, has to ebb and flow with whatever's thrown at her on the daily. So that's why I wanted to have a conversation. That was kind of what sparked the conversation today on Real Talk about healthy boundaries. And also just because of what's been playing out in my life over these last few months. There's been a lot of stuff going on with a lot of different family members and a lot of different pressures and a lot of different expectations. I'm working very hard to really truly grow and expand. And when you do stuff like that, everything gets shaken up. So if you've got some old wounding, some old patterning, or just an old story that no longer serves you anymore, it's going to get shaken up whenever you're starting to make big changes and to move in big directions. This is not only for adults. You know what? This happens in our children's lives. This happens in the schools. It happens everywhere. It affects every human on this planet. We are all creatures of habit. We are only as strong as the habits we have formed through the patterning that we've picked up. So it's really important to truly get connected and to really, truly set yourself up, your family up, and your environment up in the way that you want it to be. You know what? I am 47 years old, and I look back at the girl that was, the child that was, and the lifestyle that was before me, and it's so drastically different now. I don't even recognize pieces of that life anymore. And it's not that, it was all a terrible time. It was just that I'm a totally different person now. The ways in which I learned how to self-regulate and self-soothe and self-control my own experiences in my life were skewed. And I think that you would probably be hard pressed to meet a human out there that is not or has not experienced this in one way, shape, or form in their lives. We all have a skewed version of what our life looks like, who we are, and what is actually ours. So the reason that I like having healthy boundaries is that this now gives me a control piece back again. It gives me the ability to set up my foundation and to really, truly make my life my own. My biggest strides and accomplishments that have happened have come out of me being able to reconnect and to totally take control in a positive way in my life. So, why do we need healthy boundaries? Healthy boundaries keep us accountable. Healthy boundaries set up the ways in which we will communicate with our world. Healthy boundaries remind us of our value and self-worth. And healthy boundaries are a natural process of communication, of emotional satisfaction, and of sustainability in a world that is chaotic and crazy. So I'm curious, what kind of healthy boundaries or what kind of boundaries do you have in your life right now? Do you have any? If you were able to actually get on to the Survey Monkey, and if you want to do this, please do it. I will still answer and follow up with everybody that talks to me on and actually fills out the survey, and we can actually go through and move through some of the things in which maybe you are currently just a little stuck in. How do healthy boundaries show up in your family? What shape are they? How do you balance them, and what do they look like? It's really important for you to get on track personally to decide what is your absolute yes, this is okay, and no, this is not. If I'm going to talk personally here for a minute, I'm going to say that for most of my adult life, because of coming from a broken home, I had a serious, and I still do, don't get me wrong, but I had a serious and powerful obligation to give everything to my core family. And my core family made up of my brother and sister and my mom and myself. We were the core for many, many years. It was, the four of us that got through what we had to get through, and that was just it. There was nothing from the outside world that could attack us if we were four strong. Believe me, I love my family with all of my heart and soul. But I also realized that that patterning and that habit and those boundaries that I set up as a young child to cope and move through the life that we had were not the healthiest boundaries. I set myself to become a one who was always trying to please. I was a people pleaser. I always put my needs, wants, and desires ahead of everybody else. If I said no, then I would thought, I was disappointing everybody. And I carried a lot of guilt and a lot of anger about that guilt and frustration. And these are all normal reactions to the ways in which we pick up negative patterns and make them habits in our lives. And this is something that, if you want to dig in, if it's in your life and you want to dig into it deeper, we can go deeper into coaching sessions to really help you to set up the groundwork to acknowledge it, heal it, shift it. I did. I spent many years working many programs with many amazing coaches, therapists, and individuals to get me to the place where I was standing in that place of rawness, of that unknown, of that, oh my God, who the hell am I now? So a lot of people might, kind of take a deep breath in at the thought of that and shriek a little bit and go, well, why would I want to, wake up, Heather, one day and not know where the hell I was and what was going on and deal with the fear and the emotion of all that. The one powerful thing that I have to say to you about that is that even though that seemed very overwhelming at the time, it in fact turned into one of the most powerful and amazing moments of my life. It reminded me of my strength. It reminded me of my purpose. And it reminded me of exactly who I was and what I wanted to be living in this world. And it gave me a goal, and it gave me a direction. And even though I felt like I had no direction, I had direction and I had purpose. And, I think that earlier in the week, I shared an article from a psychiatry magazine or something. I can't remember because I've shared a few on my pages over the last little bit. And it was, the headline said, was something along the line. Just actually, I don't want to guess at it because it was really powerful. So hang on with me for 1 second here. And then I also want to know if you're here, who are you? Where are you coming in from? And give me a little heart, a little high, a little thumbs up, whatever you would like to share. So, okay, the article was, hang with me. My fingers don't work as quickly as my mind does sometimes. So, that was the latest one, so not that one. It was an article around, dun, dun, dun. It's coming, I promise it's coming. Oh, geez Louise, where are you? Okay, I'll find it and share it. But it was something along the lines of your story was meant to be healed. And part of the healing process was facing your story and facing it head on. And I know that that can be really alarming to a lot of people because I've been there and I've done that. But there is power in it. It is your responsibility to address and heal all of that in order to become your highest and best self, to really truly be in your skin, and to recognize that you have so much potential in the world, and that our stories are just our stories. They don't necessarily define who we are as a person. They're just that, navigational beacon that ebbs and flows with the cycles of life and the ways in which we're turning. So keep that in mind. And don't be so hard on yourself. Society is so hard on us. And our own inner critic is brutal at times. So when you are in a place where you are feeling like you have to make a choice, you're at a crossroads, or you don't know what way to turn, stop and take a breath. Just take a big old breath in. And you can do that a couple of times. Just get into communication with your breath, part of your heart and soul, and in the breath in and out. It's your life force. It keeps you going. And whenever you're doing this breath cycle, it actually brings you into a state where you start to recognize that you are one, you are calm, and you can do this. The next thing to do is to take a look at the ways in which your life is not working for you. Just a quick look. Write down the top 3 things that are hard no's for you, that you do not want to do. And word to the wise here. Once you start to really get connected with your breath and your heart and your soul, you've always known this, but we shut this off as overstimulated adults. and humans in this society. But your inner ability to know what right and wrong is from an emotional gut response is always there. As you start to center in, to reconnect, to take the time to breathe, to do the things that you need to do to really come together, you will start to realize, I bet you, hello, Sue. Thank you for joining me today. I bet you that we've all been in a situation where we have found ourselves, and you're faced with a question, an opportunity, or a challenge, and you immediately get a physical response from that, whether it's a warning, of, you get a message in your head like a nope, not doing that, or maybe you hear something, maybe you see something, or maybe you just feel it in your gut and you feel it right there, and no, that doesn't feel really, really good for me. I want you to take a couple minutes there, and I want you to figure out, what is it that doesn't feel right for you? Is it just the natural reaction of, oh, no, can't do that, and the critter brain? So I'm just going to pause here for a second. The critter brain is the part of our brain that literally throws up all of our old patterns, our habits, and our fears. It throws them at us when we are at a state or a point in our life of change. It does not want us to move out of where we are, because it's finally just gotten to a place where it can control where we are, where we can keep ourselves going. So any form of change, shift, or a deviation from what we know, our critter brain will kick in, and it's like the fight and flight. It'll be like, no, you'll find your way to talk yourself out of things. You'll find your things will come up. You'll make yourself not feel well, and you'll just be overwhelmed. When that happens, take a breath again. Take those breaths and ask yourself, is this my critter brain talking to me? Is this really truly just my reaction to what I fear I need to happen, the boundary I need to lay out? Or is this a physical no? This boundary is a hard no for me. You will not cross it. You will not, make me question myself or give up my power. Those are the questions you must ask, and then listen to what the answer is. So once you figure out what the answer is and where you are on that scale of your inner knowing, and that scale of that inner body validation of what is right and what is wrong for you, then you will be able to very clearly start to navigate and set up a list of boundaries and hard stops that are for you. Now, if you've been continuously doing this all of your life and letting everybody else go ahead of you, putting all of your needs, wants, desires, and requests last, and constantly giving up your voice for other people, you're going to find yourself in a really, really precarious spot here, because you're not really going to know how to navigate and set up healthy boundaries based on your previous patterning, because all you know is to just back up, sink down, and let everybody else get what they want, because that's what's important. So it's going to feel really, really it's going to feel really, really comfortable for you as you start to initiate subtle little changes. I know when I started to do this, I got a lot of kickback, and my therapist said to me, you know what, keep going. I know it's really uncomfortable, but as you change the dance, those who are in line with you will change the dance with you. There will be adjusting. I am not going to lie. There will be uncomfortable moments where, when you put up a boundary, you get kickback, and the critter brain kicks in, and then all of the emotional battery comes about. You start to feel guilt, you start to feel anger, you're frustrated, you're all of these things. When you're getting those responses, you're getting those responses for a reason. And the reason is that you've not validated yourself and your soul and your boundary. And that is the contradiction of those two things. So your soul's saying, hey, listen, I'm worth it. Listen to me. This is important. My needs need to be heard too. And then you've got the outside world going, well, it doesn't matter. She doesn't matter. She doesn't care. She always says she doesn't care. She always gives me what I want anyway. So who the hell is she to be, saying no to me now? It's going to be a process, but I promise you, if you focus on one or two little things to slightly shift over the next month, then you will actually start to get stronger and stronger. That critter brain will back off. And those people who in your life maybe are pushing the boundaries just out of pure, it's been their way of life. It's been the dance that you've been dancing with them forever. It's not necessarily your fault. There are two sides to everything, and there are reasons why people do everything that they do. But you can and are only responsible for you. It's the same as whenever I work with somebody. I can't fix you. You have to fix you. I can show you everything that you need and everything that will work to help put things in place. But until you actually commit to putting yourself first and honoring the value of you to stand up and listen and to move, then we're not going to get very far. So remember that as you're experiencing all of these things, as you shift a boundary, the people in your outside world are going to do all of the natural things to rebel against you. They're going to throw a fit. They're going to make you feel like it's your fault. They're going to make you feel like, what are you doing to me? Why are you doing this? You're being selfish. Imagine that you have this great big bubble, and this bubble is just going to bounce that shit right off. And you're just going to stand in your positive place and you're going to say, you're right. I understand that you feel really uncomfortable right now because I have changed. But I have changed because I have realized that my voice matters, that I am worth it, and that I want to go in this direction in my life. And I trust that you will support me in making these changes in the best way you know how. And then you just move. If they're angry, you set up the boundary of, understandable, that's your reaction, but it's not acceptable in my world. If you are being shamed or blamed or guilted out, again, you know what? I understand that you're feeling really uncomfortable right now. So am I. I'm trying to do this to better myself and to be the best version of myself. And I trust that you will see that and respect that. And I would appreciate that your reactions like this stay with you. They don't get flung at me, because this is not personal. This is only about me. And, I used to think that people who stood up for themselves, that for people who talk like that, who had hard nose, who had, limitations and boundaries, were selfish. And it wasn't until my whole world crumbled and it broke apart and I woke up knowing nothing that I realized that that was not selfishness. That was the process of leading a healthy, normal life. And it wasn't selfish, it was a priority. I know that we talked about this on one of the last podcasts or conversations that we had whenever I was saying that, I just recently got on a plane not long ago, and the very first thing that they do whenever they're explaining, to you what happens if there was an incident or a situation that arose, you put the life mask on you first. You don't put the life mask on others, because you have to take care of you. And I think that if we can get past, as a society of wounded and critical, flawed, and beautiful people, that if we can get past the judgment that comes with claiming our own power, having our own voice, and standing firmly in our own personal inner knowing of ourselves, that we will become a better world. Self-regulation should be gold in your life. We are all put into situations from the time that we enter this world until the time that we exit this world to apply our self-regulatory skills. We learn these skills through different phases of our lives. They show up in different ways. They show up in multiple ways. And it's really, truly important to understand that self-care, self-love is a part of self-regulation, because whenever we're loving ourselves, then we realize the power of respecting and putting in boundaries in place, and setting up a healthy foundation of communication and interaction with people. And then it ripples out, because when we love ourselves, we love the world, and we love everything around it. And we don't get numbed out. We don't get, into situations where we're unhappy and stuck and just, barely thriving to get by. Yes, there are times when this happens in our world. That happens for a reason. And in most of the cases that I have seen, it has come from a place of us not validating ourselves, our true selves, and being connected as a whole in our body. And this happens simply, like I said before, from programming, from generational traumas that are passed along the lineage, from traumatic experiences, from situations in which we have created ourselves or we've found ourselves in. So the importance about healthy boundaries, number one, is stop the self-blame. Number two, claim your power. Number three, breathe. Number four, release and let go with love. Number five, start small. Get really precise about what it is that you want in your world, and what would work best for you, and what it would look like. Then number seven, maybe we're at six, can't remember, 6 or 7, create the intention. And then number 8 is follow through. Number 9 is keep going through all the uncomfortableness. Reach out to your supports, to your systems, to your coaches, to you, whoever you need to help keep you accountable and moving and flowing, to your peers, your friends, whatever it is. And number 10, believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it, that you can change, that you have a right to have healthy boundaries, to live your best version of yourself, and to live the best life that you can possibly have. So that is Real Talk Thursday, here with Mama Mac. Again, I've put some information down here. I would love if you would to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love if you check things out on Instagram and followed me there, and on Facebook here. If you are in need of having coaching support, please consider checking out who I am, what I am, and what I offer. I come to you in these live sessions to really truly allow you to get to see who I am and how I coach and how I can hold the space for you to be your best version of yourself. Again, I'm not here to fix you. I'm just here to shine a light to show you a way in which maybe you can't see because the blinders are on. It's really, truly all about you. I just want to be at the end goalpost going, yeah, you did it. I'm so freaking proud. So, definitely check out all of the different things. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to start doing a Ask the Coach every Thursday at 2 o'clock from here on out until next year. I'm going to flip back and forth between, ask the question about wellness, ask a question about life, ask about a question about anything that you want. But we will go back and forth. You can ask those questions by simply sending me an email to thechroniclesofmommamac@gmail.com. You can fill out the survey link that is on the screen here. And in the event page, you can Facebook message me your question. That would be fine too. If we're on Instagram, you can instant message me there. And then, of course, all of my details on how to connect with me are at www.thechroniclesofmommamac.com. So just so you know, next week I have a very, very special Full Moon Sisterhood Circle. It is a 1-hour expansion circle that honors the traditional moon cycles of my Indigenous ways. We work through the phase of the medicine wheel in which we're in. We will be doing a full moon ritual inside of this circle, as well as I'll do a full moon card read, and we'll do a teaching takeaway. So at every circle, I like to give you a piece of information that allows you to really, truly work with the moon cycle that we're in right now and to either create, release, expand, or set the intention for whatever you want to bring into your life. So I used to do these circles out in public, and I probably will do them out in public, maybe 2 or 3 times a year at special times. But I'm realizing, and I've had such a response from people looking to be included in this from all over the world. So the way for me to do that is to hold it online in a very special Zoom conference call. So what happens is that when you sign up on the website, and it's $20, by the way, when you sign up on the website for the event, after that happens, you will be sent the Zoom link. Zoom is simply a conference call, a private and secure conference call setting in which you will have a login. All you do is click on that link and you can join that circle live with me that day. If you can't get on live that day, that's okay. The good thing about Zoom is that it is recorded and you will be able to access that circle. You will still get all of the things that happen inside of it. I will still respond to you for any one-on-one coaching that is offered in there or any one-on-one card readings that are in there. It just means that you're in the driver's seat. You're in control of when you want to watch it, see it, play it, and do it. It also gives you the liberty to replay it, to utilize all the takeaways that come from that healing circle and apply them in your life for the whole month, as many times as you want to, because you can watch it whenever you want, as long as you have that link. So this is the way in which I am evolving my business. And I know that a lot of people, who have, stood strongly by my side will probably be a little bit upset with that. But please hang with me. I promise you, you're going to get exactly the same things as you got whenever you were with me, just in a new way. And this is a way in which, I can truly and honestly and with integrity deliver what I promised myself and set out an intention to do, was to reach more people all over the world. So there will be special takeaways. They do happen. Keep watching. But yes, from here on out, we're going to be doing the new moon and the full moon circles twice a month online through a Zoom conference. The other thing that's going on right now is that the launch of Bloom happened. And if you don't know what Bloom is, you can definitely check out some of my most recent posts. But for most of my life, I have been on a roller coaster ride with weight issues, with health issues, and with clothing. I laugh at that because every day. Anyway, Bloom is a weight loss and a weight management program that is offered exclusively to your inbox. It is a 6-segment section that helps you to identify, to align, and to reprogram your thoughts, your ways, and your outlook around wellness. You know, I have done every diet out there. I have starved myself. I have taken magic pills, drinks, and supplements. I have literally done every fad craze imaginable. Yes, I got success. Did it stay? No. Why? Because there was not that whole body connection. The only way in which you can truly change your wellness conversation is when you identify the core problem of what got you there emotionally, the wounds, the experience, the programming, whatever it is. So that's here. Then accept the fact that there are no diets. There are no fast fixes. There are no judgments around who you are or where you are right now. In fact, I want you to know that where you are right now is just a stepping stone. What if we were to shift the focus from, oh my God, I have failed at yet another diet. I am, in this negative self-talk loop of not loving myself, cutting myself down, and just literally self-sabotaging and throwing in the towel, to, wait a minute. Wow. I see now why I have this conversation with myself. I see now why I am here. It took a lot of courage to get through that. Am I happy where I am? No. But am I proud of the courage and the stamina and the strength that it took to get me here? Yes. Am I thankful that I have the ability to change that? Yes. And am I willing to really, truly change that and move into a point and a place of wellness from a whole body perspective? Yes. When you have that, you get to bloom, because it's not just about a diet. And when I say diet, it's not cutting carbs. It is about a whole foods wellness meal plan that has you eating your best foods in all shapes and forms that are suited to you. Take that and enter in movement. What works best for you? What works best for your body? What truly drives you? What brings you to a point of showing up every day? So food, movement, exercise. And the last final piece is about showing up and loving yourself right here in the place that you're in, honoring your cycles, making room for self-care, understanding the ways in which your emotional pieces are connected to the success of being in a whole wellness place. And it's these three components, whenever they're combined, will actually bring you to the place of some of your greatest accomplishments in the weight loss and management program. And in the 6 components, we work all through those. You get one-on-one coaching from me. You get meal plans. You get movement plans. You get 6 instructional course videos that focus through all of the steps that you're in. You get takeaways. You get a PDF wellness workbook. You will have everything that you could possibly need to truly embrace the best version of your wellness self in bloom. And it is offered right now on the website. It's $149 Canadian. Again, it comes to your mailbox. You are in control. You can watch it as many times as you want. You can sit on it for as long as you want to. You can avoid it for as long as you want to. But when you're ready to get serious and truly commit to your whole self and put yourself first, I promise you, you will lose weight with Bloom. I right now am almost, let me see, over 28, almost 30 pounds by committing myself to this program, my program. I figured I, have to definitely live it and do it in order to preach it. And so every day is an experience. Every day is a journey. And I am right here along with you. And I promise to be here with you through all of it and help you get through. Bloom is a great launching pad to get 6 successful weeks of continuous changing and moving and shifting into the healthiest, highest version of yourself. So, pardon me, dogs, no. So, that's happening right now. And then there'll be lots of other things, but we'll talk about that another day. Those are the 2 things that are coming up here in the next week, as well as that free wellness Ask the Coach session. So with that, I want to thank you for spending Real Talk Thursday with Mama Mac here. I'm blessed and I cannot wait to start engaging. So please go to that Survey Monkey here and reach out to me. If there's something you want to talk about, I don't have to say your name. I can just, reach out in whatever way I have to connect with you and to help you to shift and move and flow into living the very best version of your own life. And that is such a powerful, powerful thing to do because we're only on this world for a very little time and we need to make the most of it and be present because being present is so much better than being separated. And I know that firsthand. The very last thing that I want to leave you with you today is a very special little takeaway. I'm just going to have a drink of water here. Drinking lots of water is very, very important, not only for your mind, but for your body and your spirit, and it keeps your wellness in check. So, quick little question, how much water are you drinking in a day? Did you know that water is one of the very first things that will actually aid you in the weight loss process because it aligns and gets things to where it was before. It regulates sugar, it regulates, internal systems, and helps them operate. You should be literally drinking half of your body weight in water a day. Is that easy? Absolutely not. I look back over the last year and a bit, and I was lucky if maybe I had my water and coffee and tea in a day, and that was it. I didn't really reach for water, but when I make a conscious effort to do that, I see some of my greatest strides happen. So if you don't like drinking water just by itself, add some lemon to it, add some vegetables, some fruit, spice it up a little bit. I promise you, your body will thank you, and you will thank you, because you'll start to feel better. You'll start to sleep better. You'll start to process things a little bit better, and you'll start to see that your body responds to you in such a powerful way when we are listening, when we are respecting. For God's sakes, it's been keeping me alive for 47 years. And I'll tell you right now, I've not done very good things to it. And I just have to say thank you to your body, to my body, for supporting me through all of the times in which I just did not know what the hell I was doing. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a little tapping experience. And this is just something that you can take away, that you can use just to kind of get into a place of feeling your body again. Okay, so you guys hear me talking about tapping quite a lot. I follow Nick Ortner. I have all kinds of documentation and information from him, and I just like really using tapping because it works. Whenever I was in the middle of the throes of my PTSD diagnosis and panic disorder and being so overwhelmed, I had to find ways in which I needed to release, that I could move, stop please, and that I could get through. And tapping was a great therapy for me. So I use it in everything I do. I use it with the kids that I work with. I use it with my own children, my nieces, my nephews, myself, everybody. It's a great release. So tapping is simply like this. You start off with the karate chop point. If this is all you do, that is okay. If you move through and do the points, then that's perfect, but you don't have to, okay? So we go from the karate chop, then we move to the eyebrow, and then we move to beside the eye, under the eye, to the nose, to the chin, to the collarbone, under the arm, which is right around the bra strap, and then to the head, okay? So I want you to start off with just this actual tapping script that we're going to use here today is called Peace and Patience, okay? And so the key here is that we just want to work this and do this as many times as it's comfortable for you and at the pace that works for you, to start to feel a difference, to see a way in which you can approach things in your life, like setting a healthy boundary, feeling your way through uncomfortableness in a positive way. This tapping script actually does create positive change, and it does shift things and bring things, helps to release anything that's bogged down, that has you bogged down at the moment. So I want you to take 3 deep breaths. So first one in and out. Up on the bed. And another one. Okay, and at the karate chop point, I want you to just repeat 3 times. Even though I'm struggling with the pace of my life of change right now, I love myself and accept how I feel. Even though I'm struggling with the pace of change right now, I love myself and accept how I feel. Even though I am struggling with the pace of change right now, I love myself and accept how I feel. Moving to the eyebrow. I want more faster. To the side of the eye. I want things to change for the better right now. To under the eye. I don't have time for this ritual. To under the nose. I don't have time for this repetition. To under the mouth. I need things to transform now. To the collarbone. This impatience with the pace of change. Under the arm. It's stressing me out. To the top of the head. I want more faster. To the eyebrow. This impatience. Side of the eye. So much impatience. Under the eye. This impatience. Under the nose. It's slowing me down. Under the mouth. It's stressing me out. To the collarbone. But it doesn't feel safe to relax. Oh, that was the collarbone. I need a big change now. But change is scary too. To the eyebrow. I want more. Side of the eye. And I want it faster. Under the eye. All this impatience. Under the nose. I don't have time for patience. Under the mouth. Or for repetition. To the collarbone. Or ritual. Under the arm. I need big changes now. To the top of the head. But change is scary too. To the eyebrow. I only want certain changes. To the side of the eye. I don't have time for all this. Under the eye. I need positive change now. Under the nose. I can't wait. Under the mouth. All this impatience. Collarbone. It's stressful. Under the arm. This stress is slowing me down. Top of the head. Maybe it's time to let it go. To the eyebrow. And trust that change is happening at the perfect pace. To the side of the eye. I can relax into what is happening now. Under the eye. Even though anger isn't how. No. Even though everything isn't how what I want it to be. Under the nose. I can feel safe with this pace of change. Under the mouth. I can relax my body, release my anger, my frustration, my anxiety now. And feel the calm when I think about the current pace of change in my life. Under your arm. I can feel calm in my body. To the top of the head. And trust the change is happening at the perfect pace. One last round. To the eyebrow. Ritual and repetition are important. To the side of the eye. They'll support me in transforming. Under the eye. I can let myself slow down enough to use them. Under the nose. I can trust that change is happening at the right pace. Under the mouth. I can relax about the current pace of change. To the collarbone. I can trust in this transformation process. Under the arm. And relax my body when I think about it. To the top of the head. I can feel calm, safe, and relaxed now. Take a couple deep breaths in there, and I want you just to rate your existence, your frustration, your anxiety, or whatever is coming up for you with a 0 to 10. If you are sitting at anything above a 5, keep going, keep doing the same rounds again, or even just karate chopping your way through it to get yourself to that lower number and to let go and to surrender into the letting go and letting peace come about and just accepting everything in its pace. Today was a talk on Real Talk Thursday with Mama Mac about healthy boundaries. I've given you a self-regulation exercise that you can use to help. We've identified some of the ways in which we can get stuck and some of the traps that keep us stuck there. I challenge you over this next week to sit in your place of inner trusting and knowing and set up 3 healthy boundaries that you want to bring into light into your world. Write them down. When you write them down, I want you to list 3 things beside them as to why you want this to happen and how it will make you feel. And then I want you just to tuck that away somewhere where you can peek at it whenever you need a reminder. And you just step forward every day trying to bring your intention into light of that healthy boundary. From my heart to yours, from my home to yours, much love. We'll see you in the Ask the Coach sessions on Real Talk Thursdays next week again. I'm always here. Reach out. Much love. Bye.